When I entered the office, I saw that he already had the tool in hand and was holding it firmly. I felt comfortable sharing my story with you, something I hope will resonate with some of you. My name is Jessica, and I recently celebrated my 30th birthday. I've been married to Vinicius for 5 years. He is a bit older than me, 38 years old. I met Vinicius even before finishing nursing school, and I can say for sure that without him, I wouldn't have been able to graduate or find a good job. I remember as if it were yesterday Vinicius paying the bills for my course every month. His support was crucial for me to reach where I am today. Nowadays, I live in a small town in Rio Grande do Sul and work as the head nurse at the local municipal hospital. My husband, on the other hand, is dedicated to teaching music, both online and in person. When I got the nurse position at the municipal hospital, our life went from ordinary to extraordinary. It was as if our routines suddenly changed, and everything became so much better. Since graduating and getting a job at the municipal hospital, I've been the primary breadwinner for our household. As a result, we started earning more money, and our financial situation improved significantly. However, my husband is quite uncomfortable with this. He always wanted to be the main provider of the household and views the situation differently. While I take care of our home and see my career thriving, he struggles with his music lessons, which aren't going as he had hoped. This upsets him, as he feels uncomfortable with the idea of me being the main financial supporter. It's challenging for him to cope with this new dynamic. He always dreamed of being the primary provider, and now with my achievements, I sense that he feels diminished. This change has affected how he sees himself and how he feels about our relationship. Sometimes, my husband shows jealousy when I buy more expensive and flashy clothes, even though I'm using my own money for it. This seems to bother him even more. He doesn't like it when I spend on things he considers unnecessary, and the jealousy is visible in his eyes when he sees me dressed like that. To reach the position I hold today, I had to go through many situations that I'm not proud of. The path to get here was filled with sacrifices and difficult decisions. Many times, I made choices that, looking back, leave me with a sense of regret. These actions weigh on my conscience, but I know they were necessary for us to achieve the stability we have now. But Dr. Paulo was different. He was genuinely in love with me. Over time, his compliments and attention won me over, although I always kept my distance. Dr. Paulo was practically the owner of the hospital, with a lot of influence and respect from everyone. The hospital was almost in his hands, and he made many of the important decisions. With all this power and respect, it was not easy not to be attracted to him. He not only complimented me and made me feel special, but he also had a strong and confident presence that drew me in more and more. On a normal workday, I received a message from Dr. Paulo asking me to come to his office on the top floor. I went there, a bit nervous and unsure of what to expect. When I arrived, he declared his feelings for me. He said he didn't want to be disrespectful but had feelings for me. He mentioned that he could transform my life within the hospital, helping me advance in my career if I agreed to do some extra work for him. The proposal was direct and clear. Although I knew it wasn't right, the idea of improving my professional situation was tempting. He assured me that I wouldn't have to worry about anything else, promising to promote me and smooth my path within the hospital. At first, I thought it was a joke. Dr. Paulo had always been very playful and a bit intimate with me, so I thought he was just making another one of his jokes. But as the conversation progressed, I realized it wasn't like that. The seriousness in his tone and the way he looked at me showed that he was serious. He was really proposing something concrete and tempting. I asked Dr. Paulo what exactly he wanted, what he was really seeking. He got straight to the point. He wanted to be with me and was interested in a more intimate relationship. He explained that if I agreed to be his mistress, he would promote me and improve my conditions at the hospital. The proposal was clear. He offered a promotion and other benefits in exchange for a personal relationship with him. He highlighted that, with his power and influence, he could open many doors for me within the institution. It wasn't just about a promotion but a significant advancement in my career. However, he made it clear that this was the condition for me to receive these opportunities. Dr. Paulo is not an unattractive or old man. In fact, he is quite attractive, has money, and takes good care of himself. He is the type of person who draws attention, which only complicated the situation further. My career was at stake, and I had fought hard to get into that hospital. Losing this chance would be a major disappointment for me. So, I decided to accept his proposal, but with a clear condition: the relationship would be only once. I needed to ensure there would be no ongoing commitments or expectations of something deeper. In exchange, he should promote me to the position of head nurse, a goal I had long desired and that could transform my professional life. Dr. Paulo accepted the condition, and the deal was sealed with an agreement that seemed to balance our interests. I knew I was making a difficult decision, but I was determined not to let my career be jeopardized. As soon as we agreed, I wasted no time. I approached Dr. Paulo, and with a mix of expectation and nervousness, made it clear that I was ready to fulfill the agreement for one day. Within seconds, he kissed me. The kiss was slow and lingering, increasing the heat in the room. We couldn't control ourselves and ended up doing what we had planned, right there on the desk in his office. Dr. Paulo's eagerness surprised me in many ways. He had an energy and presence I didn't expect, and the encounter was extremely intense. Although the experience was memorable and even enjoyable, I knew I needed to stick to the agreement we had made. After our meeting, I was firm in demanding that he fulfill his part of the deal. Dr. Paulo was fully willing to keep his promise, and the next day, I was already wearing a new uniform and promoted to head nurse. The change was swift and visible, and I was thrilled with the new position. When Dr. Paulo passed by and saw the new uniform, he didn't hesitate to compliment me. He said the position suited me very well and celebrated my promotion with enthusiasm that made me feel the effort was worth it. His approval and support were significant and reassuring. On the same day, I decided to return to his office to express my gratitude. I thanked him deeply and sincerely, and to seal my appreciation, we ended up making love again. My husband is always curious about how I managed to get the promotion so quickly. He often asks me about it, questioning how everything happened so fast. I've noticed that he checks my phone during the night, trying to find something that might explain the sudden change. However, I'm not naive. I don't bring my adventures home. I keep my personal life separate from what happens at the hospital and make sure he doesn't find anything that might raise suspicions. My focus is on maintaining discretion and protecting what I've achieved, leaving no traces that could reveal what really happened. Other nurses comment that I've been with all the doctors, which has generated quite a bit of envy. They can't understand how I managed to advance so quickly and keep speculating about my personal life. The truth is that, besides the effort I put in, I benefit from the support and protection of Dr. Paulo, who ensured a quick and efficient promotion. This only fuels the rumors and jealousy in the hospital even more. I'm not managing to adhere to the agreement as I should. I've been visiting Dr. Paulo almost every day, not only to express my gratitude but because I feel I've become addicted to the sense of power and the adventure that our relationship provides. With each visit, the feeling of being in control and the pleasure of our connection become more enticing. I feel that my life is being profoundly influenced by this dynamic, and the impact is visible. Maintaining the separation between what happens at the hospital and my personal life is becoming increasingly difficult. Over time, and with discreet visits to Dr. Paulo's office, I began to realize that he isn't the only doctor with such relationships. I discovered that other doctors also have their mistresses, and interestingly, all of them are nurses. Most of them are married, which makes the situation even more complex and secretive. What seemed like an isolated case now reveals a pattern within the hospital. This network of extramarital relationships and secrets is more widespread than I had imagined. I wonder if this type of situation happens in all hospitals. Do doctors and nurses engage in secret relationships elsewhere too? Since I started working at this hospital, I've been discovering a side of the profession I hadn't imagined, and it's all very new to me. I wonder if this pattern of hidden relationships is common in other healthcare institutions. Is what I'm experiencing here frequent in other hospitals as well? I would like to understand if these dynamics of secret relationships between doctors and nurses occur in other places, and if they are a common part of the work environment in other healthcare institutions. I plan to continue with this forbidden romance while Dr. Paulo is at the hospital. He seems to have plans to move his family out of Brazil, and until that happens, I will maintain our relationship. I will take advantage of my position as head nurse and continue to earn well. Although this situation is complex and engaging, I am determined to make the most of the opportunities it offers while I can. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story. Until next time.